Translation: O greatly learned one, kindly eradicate all my doubts and let me know of all that I have inquired from you from the beginning to the end. Purport: Vidura asked all relevant questions of Maitreya because he knew well that Maitreya was the right person to reply to all the points of his inquiries. One must be confident about the qualifications of his teacher. One should not approach this. Such inquiries, when replied to with imaginative answers by the teacher, are a program for wasting time. So today we are starting a new chapter, chapter 10, Divisions of the Creation. So it starts with a question from Vidura. Antarhite Bhagavati, after the Supreme Personality of Godhead disappears, Brahma Lokapitamaha, Lord Brahma, who is the original created being of this universe, is also Lokapitamaha, the grandfather of all the inhabitants in all the planetary systems within the universe. Praja Sasarja Katidha, how did he created the bodies of living entities? Daihiki, by his body, Manasi, by his mind, Vibhuhu, O great one, O great sage. So this is an interesting question. It dismantles one of the biggest diseases in the scientific community. And what is that scientific community's theory about the created beings? It is Darwin's theory. The most celebrated Darwin's theory talks about how the species have come into our world. How various species, we see fish, we see birds, we see plants, we see trees, snakes, we see human beings. So Darwin has created a theory, a speculative theory, that originally the life began from a simple structure called single cell structure, amoeba. And then through some mystical mutations and selection process, that single cell has evolved into complex forms like the forms that we see today. And he says it took billions and billions of years for this evolution to take place. This is Darwin's theory. And then the whole scientific community rallied behind this theory and supported his version that yes, this is how the species have evolved. Sometime back, the National Geographic Society, it once again came heavily on this topic and said that yes, what Darwin said is correct. Any other doubts should be kept to rest. Of course, from the beginning, all the religious groups are opposing this theory because it doesn't accept any creator. It says the living entities evolve themselves. Through some circumstances, it changed a little bit like this, little bit like this. Those changes are taking place. And finally, they have become complex forms that we see today. And they have published some interesting pictures to explain the Darwin's theory. They were showing how amoeba is trying to swim like a fish, and that's how it became fish. And then there's one more cartoon where it's all like Disney cartoons. It's a scientific society supposed to be, and then they published this. And then a fish is trying to be flying and breathing and trying to fly and all that. Pure cartoon. And no science. There is no proof to prove any of these cartoons. It's a pure cartoon. But cartoon show, and then they're saying how religious groups are simply telling something which is actually cartoon. They say we are cartoon and we say they are cartoon. So this is the problem. So here you can see here, Vidura, he knows very well how the creation has come about of all these divisions. Praja sasajja katidha. Actually, this one shloka dismantles all these theories which are haunting the scientific community. We all read this Darwin's theory in our earlier days in our physics books and this and that. Fortunately, it has not got into our psyche or our head. So that's why most of the Indians, they still believe in God. So there is no proof that a single cell amoeba exists in the beginning of the creation. There is no proof. Charles Darwin, he could not explain how that single cell came into existence, where it has come from. That he could not explain. He says, long ago there was an amoeba. That is his story. And then it somehow became fish and then breathing. And other than that, there is no scientific proof. Actually, I remember we all went through this phenomena during COVID. When the virus broke out first time in 2019 December or Jan 2020, we heard that somewhere it is came up. The first question of everybody is, okay, what is this virus, and then how it is going to impact us? Obviously, no. So the first challenge for the scientists was to understand this species, which is now, coming up in the society. Everybody is trying to understand. And then I remember when some of the Indian companies, they are able to isolate the virus. That means they are able to now specifically say, yes, now we have virus with us. Because first of all, you have to catch what it is, and then analysis what it is and this and that. So they isolated the virus. They started analyzing how it behaves, what is its whatever those technical jargon, trying to understand the species. It took so much time. And then based on the virus, the vaccines have come about, and they have no idea whether that will work or not. Massive experimentation has been done. The whole humanity went for it because there is no other option. So just to understand one simple virus, so many scientific brains put together, they could not understand what is its behavior and this and that. Such a complex it is. Yes, it is mutating. Year after year you will see it changes. You find a virus for this particular version, it changes and comes back as something else. Delta 1, Delta 2, 2.1, 2.2, like that. You see there is a mutation is happening. So that species is also trying to protect itself against the vaccination. So that's what Darwin is saying. Yes, survival of the fittest. Because of the survival problems, the species evolve into some other forms, and we can see that is happening. So that's why most of the scientific community say, yes, this is looks like that ability is there to transform, mutate into a different variety and transform, and then ensure that the species continue the species. So this is what this theory is. And Darwin also said that it took many millions and millions of years. But here we are seeing that everything is ulta. The first living entity is Lord Brahma, the most complex personality. The creation has started from most complex personality. It has not started from a single cell. And then he is Loka Pitamaha. He not only created human beings in this planet, but he has created living entities in all the planetary systems. He is Loka Pitamaha. Interesting point to see is that we all have one original grandfather, Loka Pitamaha. All the human beings are connected. In fact, all living entities are connected. We are all brothers. We are all belonging to one family, materially. But there is a higher understanding. That anyway we will discuss that. Higher understanding is that we are actually not these bodies. We are spirit souls. And we belong to a spiritual family. They are also same family, one single family. So Brahma Loka Pitamaha. So here he has created all these living entities in the entire universe. He filled it up. Obviously, he is the first one. And then his service is to fill it up. So he created Prajapatis, more Prajapatis, who can create innumerable living entities. And then interestingly here, Vidura is saying, Daihiki Manasi. Brahma has created all these living entities from his body and also from the mind. One should not think the process of creation is same in every planet. The way the creation happens here, it is same in all the other planets and everywhere else. No. Here we can see the first being is so capable that he can create the living entities from his body and the mind also. For example, these 4 Kumaras, they are considered Manasaputras. They came from the mind of Brahma. See? And then living entities are coming from all his body. Some things are coming from back side, some things are coming from front side. And when this creation is happening, suddenly he sees there is one small Varaha comes from his nose and becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the first Varaha incarnation. So now for the scientists or the so-called scientists, this all looks imaginary. How a person can give birth from all his various bodily parts? That's why they'll say, oh, these are all mythology. That's what they say. And we say that yours are all Disney cartoons. Going to the moon, going to the investigating in the moon. The rover is moving, and there is a sand, and there is some pictures, and there is something. Disney cartoons. Or the fish is trying to fly and then breathe. Cartoons. There is no meaning to all these things, because in our experience we see, in our experience we see that matter can never produce any life. Amoeba cannot come automatically by some chemical combination. And amoeba cannot improvise into complex forms. We never see this happening now. Prabhupada busts all these myths by saying, now show me where a monkey is transformed into a human being. You show me now. Now they have no answer. That means evolution is complete? Everything is freezed? No. Actually, the theory itself is wrong. Actually, we will see, to start with, all the species are available. These 84 lakh species within this universe are readily available. Now it is up to the Brahma to place the living entities, the souls, into each and every species. It's like giving a key and then leave them in one planet. He has to position them in various planets, and that's how animation begins. The living entity starts enacting. I am man, I am woman, I am Indian, I am Pakistani, I am this, I am that. So many dramas will begin in all the planetary systems. Everybody identifies with the body, and the jiva goes through this journey endlessly. Abrahma bhuna loka punaravatino. It goes on. Brahmanda brahmite. This is the life within this universe. So people, without understanding that yes, there is there is a original Lokapitamaha, and he himself says, I have received this knowledge from the Lord himself, Krishna himself. So this is the proper understanding of creation. Then you may say, then we are seeing mutations are happening, so what do you say about that? You can see COVID mutations are happening, and selection. There is a selection. Actually, the moment you say selection, there has to be a selector. There has to be, isn't it selection how it happens? So, Prabhupada, in one of the Chaitanya Charitamrita purports, he gives a wonderful explanation. How matter cannot transform itself into innumerable forms. It's not possible. He says, let us say the car is, we all drive cars. The car can go left or the car can go right. So there is an inbuilt capacity in the car to either to go to left or to the right. There is an inbuilt capacity in the car. But that doesn't mean that the car itself will take a decision of how to take left or right. That decision will be taken by a driver inside. So scientists, what they are seeing, car is taking left, car is taking right. It is able to transform. It is able to, according to mutation, whatever they say. So the bodies have certain capabilities inbuilt. So that doesn't mean that it is happening automatically. The matter itself is doing everything on its own and there is nothing else required. No. There is a driver, there is a director, there is a selector. Madhyakshena, Krishna says, that is he who does all this. How this Prakriti is running. And then we can see here, Praja Sasarja, all living entities have come about. And Brahma has created from his body and mind. So one should not fall for this atheistic Sankhya philosophy. This is nothing new, the scientists what they are talking. Atheistic Sankhya is about this only. They say matter is all in all. Period. Everything came from matter, everything will go into the matter. That's all this. So they give a lot of importance to Pradhana. How the original matter is the cause of all causes. This is what they say. So that's why here Vidura is very humbly, he is putting a question to Maitreya. He wants to understand how these various species are being created. Species were created by Krishna through the agency of his appointed representatives like Brahma, the Prajapatis. It is never by some matter. They say primordial soup, original soup from which all the living entities came. The living entities are not from soup. You are in soup. By this by the scientific, your scientific theories are in soup. So here Vidura, he has, that's why he says, "O greatly learned one, kindly eradicate all my doubts." This is how knowledge can be received. This is the only way. This is the only way. What is the way? Ask from the person who knows, who has the knowledge. Already experimented, freezed, tested, verified. All knowledge is there, let us say, with somebody. We have to ask him. This is intelligence. We cannot go on with our experimentation and then say, maybe this is correct, that is correct, this is proposals, all brainstorming, and then projecting that as the actual valid theory. This is what scientists say. Actually, when Prabhupada was in the 60s, when he was in America, he has to confront all these theories. The most important theory was life came from chemicals. And Prabhupada vehemently opposes it. Life can never come from chemicals. And very fondly Prabhupada used to quote Swarup Damodar Prabhu's challenge to a scientist. Apparently he attends one scientific seminar. The person who proposed the theory that life comes from chemicals, he was giving a colorful explanation of how the life has come from chemicals and all that. In the end, this Prabhu goes and asks him, "Okay, now I'll give you all these chemicals what you are talking of. Can you produce one small chicken?" He says, "That I cannot do. No, still a lot of research is pending." Just because something is clear in the mind, people think that they have understood. They think that now I can propose, I can ask, I can do, I can challenge and this and that. Mental clarity is sometimes deceptive. We cannot depend on all this. We have to go with the clarity of realized transcendentalists. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he says something, it comes with a force of already experimented, analyzed, verified, everything. That knowledge is called Veda. And he represents that Vedic knowledge. So, that's why here Maitreya Rishi is an exalted sage, a great sage, and he directly heard all this from the Lord himself. And so, here we can see he is requesting Maitreya, kindly eradicate all my doubts. Now this is important. When we have a bona fide spiritual master, a disciple should be very eager to eradicate all his doubts. He should not hesitate to confront his own doubts. One should know that the doubts are like enemies. They are like demons. Like Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna addresses Krishna as Madhusudana because Krishna killed a demon by name Madhu. Now in Arjuna's mind also there is a doubt, and that is appearing to be much bigger than Madhu. So that's why he is addressing Krishna as Madhusudana, you please eradicate this doubt. One should handle doubts like this. They should handle these doubts like how we handle demons. So one has to use appropriate weapons and ensure that the demon is killed. But then what happens? That is not possible for us because I am in doubt already. If I have a doubt, I am already in doubt. So the demon has already captured me. I will not be able to kill it. If I can kill the doubt, then I will not be under the control of the doubt. Understood? So that means I need help of somebody else. The spiritual master or our other Vaishnavas, our seniors. We should go and ask, Prabhu, this is what I am feeling. This is the doubt. And he should be eager to clear off. Of course, there is a process of asking these doubts and questions. This is one more important point in spiritual life. In spiritual life, we are not only interested in the end point. Let us say number of views, or some money, or some followers, or something. There are so many end points are there. So, in a spiritual life, we are not just interested in that, okay, how many more views, more followers, or more money. If somebody brings, oh, that's all, he is great. No. It is seen what is the process by which he has reached to that final level, and that process is a Krishna conscious process. While doing all these things, is he adhering to the rules and regulations or the framework that has been given to him? And also, while adhering to all these things, is he dependent on Krishna? This is the progress. In spiritual life, it's not that somebody brings some. For example, somebody was saying that Prabhu, number of views can be enhanced. If you can give me a budget, we can easily get some 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 views for each and every video of ours. So, we are not into that. We are into, okay, how are you going to reach? Okay, some sincere people are hearing 50, 100, no problem. That is much better than some 10,000 people who are paid version. No. So that's why it is very important. It is not just, okay, somehow you make somebody, join, or you somehow get some money, or somehow increase views, and this. No. We are not just interested in that. Because ultimate result is, after all, not in our hand. How can you claim that you got it, all these things? You cannot even claim that. What you can claim is, during the process, how are you taking it? Your consciousness, your dependence on Krishna, that is same. For example, here the questioner is asking Prabhupada, show me Vishwarupa. And Prabhupada is saying, no, I am not Krishna, I cannot show you Vishwarupa. Then he is saying, but Krishna has given you the title of Guru. He says, yes. That much I can claim. That is, Prabhupada says, taking this as his service. That is his service. And he is saying, I cannot show you any Vishwarupa because I am not that powerful. But I can tell all the rascals that Krishna is Bhagavan. So, I am only a peon. See, he knows his position. He knows his position. He is feeling that I am very insignificant. Somehow, I got this order, this service. By Krishna's mercy, I will be able to execute this. I can preach. And Prabhupada has asked for empowerment from his Acharya, from the predecessor Acharyas. He used to beg empowerment, please empower me so that I can fulfill my Guru's order. And then you see his life. Always Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. This is the progress. Finally, Prabhupada has achieved something which an ordinary person can never ever think of achieving. His story always remains the evergreen superhero story. It appears unbelievable actually, that one single person at the age of 70 could achieve such magnificent things. But what is more beautiful is how he has reached to that magnificent result. How he depended on Krishna, never become disappointed. Everything he saw as Krishna's mercy only. See, that is what is important. How you are doing, with what consciousness you are doing, that is more important. That is more important. And what is that consciousness should be? We should be Krishna conscious. We should develop love at the end of all our services. No, this is for Krishna, so I have to do it carefully. See, that feeling is different from, no, there is a money, or there is some number of views, or there is something, so I have to get it, then I will become this, I will become that, I will become popular, I will become this. That is a very poor way of doing our services. See, this is Krishna's service. So nicely I have to do that Krishna should be smiling at me. My Guru should be smiling at me. This is the mood of a devotee. In the absolute terms, we are not dependent on this agency, this donor, or this person, or this and that for our money. We are purely dependent on Krishna. But because we are in this material world, there has to be an initiative from our side. We have to serve. Nobody can be free even for one moment. We have to do. So that service when we do with love for Krishna. My Lord, I am dependent on you purely. Wherever you take me, wherever you ask me to go, I'll go. And then by this process, Prabhupada is expanding Krishna's glories to more and more people, these atheistic people. This is the beauty. The jivas who are doing Brahmanda Brahmite, they are suddenly coming in touch with Krishna. Even if they eat just little kaja, a preacher gives or somebody gives, he is touching Krishna. Because it is Krishna Prasad. Isha Sangha, Bhagavatam says this is Isha Sangha. Isha means Krishna. So, that is the purpose. Krishna, he wants to see that more and more people get benefited by this. And so, he gave us an opportunity for all of us so that we can approach people and then we can give all these things. And when he sees that the devotees are sincere and as a team they are all working very nicely, cooperating with each other, and then with love they are serving, then Lord will give the results. He will ensure that. Sometimes he may not give results, so we should not think that there is something lacking. No, for whatever reason we don't know. If Krishna gives, he doesn't give. Is that way is transcendental autocrat. Devotees have to go on. They have to accept those situations and they have to go on. We will try only our best. If something doesn't come, we are not going to give up on Krishna consciousness, because the actual thing that we are supposed to progress or evolve is in our consciousness. Yes, this is for the Lord. I will give my best. I have to sacrifice my everything for Krishna's service. This is the mood of the devotee. And then, so once he does that, automatically things will come, and then he will fulfill all the desires of the devotees. Whatever desires are there, it will be fulfilled. But what is driving you, that should be clarified, that should be careful. That's why here Vidura is carefully asking, my Lord, O greatly learned one, please clarify all my doubts. This is a very important mission of us. We'll always have doubts. Some devotees, they will have a lot of questions and then they'll try to find answers. That is good. That desire to become free from doubt and develop faith on Krishna, these are all very important. Ultimately, what counts is our faith on the Lord. Faith on Krishna. Based on that, you will be called a Uttamadhikari or a Madhyama or a Kanishta. That's all. Just one parameter, faith. Uttamadhikari like Prabhupada has got absolute faith, unshaking faith, and that you can see in his activities. So, we have got fortunately a Uttamadhikari Guru, and one has to be serious to ensure that all his doubts are clarified so that he can become more attached to Krishna, more attached to his service, and then become successful at the end of his life. Any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.